For this I was born, and for this I came into the world, to testify to the truth. Everyone who belongs to the truth listens to my voice. Well, so all of a sudden, Jesus ramps it up. So Jesus is now talking about the truth, and Pilate is trying to solve a problem. Right? And then Pilate, looking at Jesus, says to him, cynically, what is truth? And then he turns away. It says after that, after he had said this, he went out to the Jews again and told them. Right? So Jesus is truth incarnate. He's truth with the big T, not truth with the small t. Pilate turns away from the one guy in the world who's going to tell him the truth. There is truth, and Pilate turns away. This is the mistake that Pilate makes. Pilate is bound by his own way of thinking. He is bound by his worldly way of thinking. And so what does he do? He turns and he goes back out. But he doesn't like what he gets out there either. There's an angry mob that's saying, take him out. Then he comes back in and faces the truth, and the truth befuddles him. So he goes back out. So you have Pilate going in and out and finding no comfortable place to be. Remember in one of the Gospels where his wife says, have nothing to do with this guy. Do not, I had this in a dream. But Pilate ignores his wife. Bad decision. In John's Gospel, we get a very, very stark dualistic view of the world. And in that dualistic view of the world, you choose the way of Jesus or you choose the way of the world. It's not ambiguous in John's Gospel. Pilate is perhaps the most infamous guy of all time. The Creed, the Apostles' Creed, which was put together before the year 100, suffered under Pontius Pilate. Think about the trillions of people who know Pontius Pilate's name because he made the wrong decision. And so what the gospel says to us, it puts it right out there for us to look at, is to say, so where are you? Where am I? Are you choosing Jesus? Are you choosing truth? You're choosing the kingdom of God? Or are you choosing the world to solve for X, the practical solutions? What are you doing? This or this? And so what we get when we have Christ the King Sunday, the last Sunday of our year, and the reason we call Christ the King is this is what we proclaim. We proclaim that amongst all and amidst all the ambiguities of our world, in the end, it is Jesus and it's the kingdom of God. That's what it is in the end. And as we live our lives, we can choose the way of Jesus or we can choose the way of the world. We can get it right or we can get it wrong. That's what the gospel says. But in the end, Pilate solves for X, right? And he keeps moving. But he didn't get it right in the long run. And what the gospel is telling us, what the resurrection is about, what the kingdom of God is about, is that we are to be people with our eyes on the horizon. We are to be Christ the King people, always viewing the Christ in the long run, because that's where we're all headed. The consummation of the world and the end of our lives is Jesus. It's not Pilate. It's not the way of the world. Because when we're dead, it's Jesus.